Hello, and welcome back to the Psych Legal Pop podcast. This is a podcast where we talk about popular culture through the lens of an attorney and a therapist. I'm the therapist, Tess Brigham, and Brooke would normally be here and say she's the attorney, but because of the holiday, Brooke is out, and I did a crossover with Little Miss Recap with Amye and Amanda. So we're covering Sister Wives, season 19, episode 12, Put Your House in Order. I think we talked longer than the episode. We talk a little bit about JonBenét at the end, and we get into a lot of different stuff. So it's a really fun episode, and I'm excited to have you all listen to it. If you, very quickly, if you enjoy our podcast, Psych Legal Pop, please subscribe, give us a 5-star rating and review, follow us on social media at Psych Legal Pop on Instagram and TikTok. And finally, if you want more from us, go check out our Patreon at patreon.com/Psych Legal Pop podcast. And the same for Little Miss Recap. You can find Little Miss Recap on social media. Little Miss Recap has a Patreon. Please go check that out. I'll have it all in the show notes as well. And enjoy the show. Bye.
Hey guys, it's Amye. I'm here with Amanda and Tess from Psych Legal Pop. Hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Hello. So happy to be here. Yes.
Tess, if you'll give us a minute, Amanda and I need to do a quick apology tour.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or a clarification.
A clarification, because we have been read for filth. We have had people rage quit our Patreon.
Yes.
Really? Saying, I'm
here
not
for a Robyn and Cody Stan podcast.
Yes.
We're like, that's not us.
Yes.
He's a fucking monster.
I've got to hear about this. Okay.
So Amanda and I need to clarify that even though, and Tess, I listened to you and your sister Brooke talk about this on your podcast last week, and you agreed that Cody, you don't think that he had good motives in his crying, but you agreed that he was really feeling an emotion, correct?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah. You can't, we all criticize Robyn for not having tears. I mean, those were real tears.
Yeah,
they were coming from somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
But let's clarify, I believe he's upset because he's a narcissist and his ego is bruised and he is crying about himself, not about Meri, not about anybody else. This is all about Cody.
The framework of his whole family which is feeding his narcissism constantly. He's the one who said, I'm a polygamist. It's all ego, baby. That's all he is, has all crumbled down, and he's pissed about it and he's sad about it. Yeah. I don't think he doesn't give a fuck about anybody other than Robyn.
So again, and I say this a lot, it is the official position of Little Miss Recap that Cody Brown is an asshole.
Yes. So wait, people thought that you guys were pro, because I listened to that episode and I didn't get that at all. So people thought you were pro Robyn and Cody?
They thought we were manipulated and we fell for Cody's antics.
Yeah, some people felt like Cody was fake crying. And that's an argument that can be made, totally.
Right.
But just because we didn't think it was fake doesn't mean we don't think it was
self-serving and narcissistic.
Yes, correct.
That's a good way of saying it.
Yes. All right. No, he doesn't have real remorse over anything at all. Because if he did, he'd be trying to fix it.
And he could give a shit about Meri. The only reason he's into Meri now is because Meri's not lashing out at him in anger or shit talking him or, part of the gossip mill. And that's it.
And she only has one child, and he has no relationship with that child because I don't think he cares to, given who that child is. So that's my guess. Yeah, I don't know. I could be wrong.
We just had to clear those things up, Tess.
Yes.
Sorry about that.
Got it. Okay. All right. I'm with you.
So Tess is joining us today because Brooke is indisposed.
Yes, she's off enjoying her Thanksgiving with my niece, her daughter, Layla.
Nice. She's not moving to Parowan?
No, she's not moving to Parowan. Okay. Layla just became a soul cycle instructor.
Cool.
So, and so she has all these crappy shifts. And that means these soul cyclers, they ride on Thanksgiving. They ride the day after. I was like, she has to work all those days? It's open?
Yeah, I went to one soul cycle class once, and this was a period where I was in really good shape. Fucking kicked my ass.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to ask, what is Soul Cycle? Is it a spin class?
Yeah, it's spin.
Kind of, yeah. But it sort of started that whole spin trend, Peloton, right? A little bit of that.
And it was the first like franchisee thing, but it was real big in New York, and there's dancing involved, and you're moving around. First of all, I thought it was going to flip off the bike or flip the entire bike over.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm not that balanced.
No. The first time I did it, my feet went numb. I told the guy, I'm like, I got to just take my shoes out. I rented the shoes. I'm like, I'm just leaving them here. I'm going. But yeah, it is really, really hard. And it's a little culty in its own weird ways. But Layla's very, she's got a good head on her shoulders. She knows what it is. But it's a lot of work. It's a tremendous amount of work, what they require of you to get there, to do all of it. So, but when you love it, you love it. Like she loves the community and, LA is a big place. And so I'm happy for her that she's still in college, but like that she's making friends, that's her world.
That's all.
Just tell her to stay away from Rama. That's all I'm going to say. Stay far away from Rama. What is that? That's the cult, the breath of fire cult.
Okay.
Actually, I think they've closed their New York or their LA studio. I think the only one they have is in New York and like Zurich or some other place in Europe or something.
By the way, at the end of today's episode, Tess and I need to have a JonBenét minute.
Okay. Okay. Do you have a different feeling about JonBenét?
No, but I listened to your thing and I've been down the rabbit hole, for years, but today in particular.
I've chosen not to listen until we record because I don't want to be.
I listen to everything that says JonBenét in the Apple catalog. If it says JonBenét, I'm listening to it.
Fair. Completely
so there we go. All right. Are we ready to go to?
Yeah.
Where are we starting? Are we ready to go to Parowan?
Oh, no, we're not starting anywhere. We're picking up right where we left off.
Yes, we are.
Okay. We're still here. We're still here.
Sister Wives, season 19, episode 12. Put your house in order. That's it. Is that a Bible quote? I don't know.
I think.
Well, please Bible find out. I don't know.
Yeah.
So we pick up on Cody sobbing in Parowan, and he is legit like, I hear the snutzer. Like he's got snot in his nose. It is real. And I wrote, Tess, what did you think of this?
Of the crying. Yeah, I mean, you cannot fake tears like that. I mean, and I don't think Cody's that great of an actor. I really don't. So I do think it's genuine. And I agree with exactly what you're saying, which is, do I think it's because he longs for Meri? No. But do I think that it's all of it? It's being embarrassed. It's his ego. It's everything. It's everything all at once. And I also think that, what we saw with Christine, he's made these comments many times, which is we just saw all anger. All we saw was anger with him. That was anger. And I feel like maybe he could have gotten there with Christine at some point if things had been different, of crying and sobbing. But Cody's about Cody. He has always been about Cody and about himself. And the fact that he thinks that his family doesn't want to be around him because of Robyn is utterly delusional.
Dude, that's not it.
And also, too, like, there is no accountability here. He's not crying because he feels he has failed. He is crying because he is the victim of something.
Correct.
Right? Like, this has happened
he didn't do any
to
of
me.
This.
Right.
This
These people did this to me. He's not crying. Like, I cried when I got divorced because my marriage failed. And I felt like I failed. Right?
Correct.
And even though, objectively, neither one of us failed, you still feel that way because you're human. Cody's not feeling that. Cody is feeling like these people have done this to me. That's my opinion.
I agree. And it was interesting this time because I wasn't taking notes, so I was able to do the scanning that you do over.
Good. Yeah.
The look on Nathan's face was like, oh God, get me out of here.
Was that
happening to me?
Nathan didn't want to cry on camera. So
you think Nathan was tearing up?
Yes. I do. I think he was crying. We saw Jen kind of like wipe a tear away.
Well, no one cries alone in my presence. So I may have started if I was there. I don't know.
I do too. I mean, I don't know. And I think it was oddly uncomfortable for Jen and Nathan. I mean, I think they were feeling a lot of things too of
what's happening. I can't believe I have to be here for this.
Yeah.
Get me out of this room.
Nathan is her brother-in-law. I think he feels some vested interest in them staying together. Jen's the only one that seems to know what the hell's going on half the time.
Jen is a fucking champ. After
the fact that we now have Jen talking heads, I am here for this all the time.
We need, that's what we need. We need an objective person from the outside to look at all of this and tell us what's going on, who has actually been there. That's the thing. She has been there and been watching it.
We also need Jen I've only gotten through one line of my summary. We also need Jen to be the Meri translator to help us to tolerate Meri and understand Meri. I'll take all the Meri you're going to give me if it's through the lens of Jen. Do you know what I mean? I don't need a lot of Meri herself.
Yeah.
No.
So Cody says to Meri, thanks for being cool. And she goes, yeah, me too. Or yeah, you too, or something like that. And he goes, guess we can be best friends now, but you have to get in line between this guy. And Jen goes, oh, no. She's not taking any applications anymore. Thank you very much.
No.
So now Cody on the couch says, this moment with Meri is me moving from the anger to just this moment of grief and trying to be safe in it and sit in it and own it and feel it and begin healing. Why is he so verbose about everything? Like, why doesn't he just say, this was me beginning my healing process with Meri?
Done. Because he has to stretch out everything he says because he's the most important thing in the world.
That's true.
And he's the most important thing in the room. And so he can have 19,000 words to express what you and I might express in 3.
So outside, they're walking down the steps and Nathan goes, nice of you to take the emotional X-lax. Okay.
I've had a week and I don't want emotional X-lax.
No.
Mm-mm.
And Cody says it's more like permission to move on. Now, Cody on the couch says, we'll have a friendship, I hope. But this right here is the end of this family, right here and right now. And he says, so this crying didn't just confuse Meri. Nathan was confused too. And he always makes, when Cody describes things that happen with his bros, it's always like so weird and sacred.
Yeah.
Right?
It's really uncomfortable. It's really, and we'll talk about this at the end too with his brothers. Why? And he said man trip, and I was about to write down man trip like as a joke. And he said it. I'm like, yeah, you are the cliche. Yeah. You are the cliche.
It has to be like this. He's like, when we drove away, Nathan put his hand on me and said, brother, what's going on here? It's like, what? Why are you talking to each other this way? Like, what, Amanda, if this was you and I, you would just be like, wow, what was that about?
Right.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah,
are you good?
That's it. I just wrote, you're an idiot.
I would know what you would feel because if you were not okay, you'd be sobbing.
True.
Yeah.
True. Yeah. Tess is a crier too, right, Tess?
Oh God, yeah. I'm a terrible crier.
Yeah.
And,
I was watching JonBenét sobbing yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. When John was talking at the end about Patsy dying, I was crying.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's a very tragic story, and it's a very. I mean, you see John Ramsey. Not to go off here, but you think about someone like this. Like, God, 2 of your 5 children are gone.
I know.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like Biden. You know what I mean? When you look at them, you go,
you've had a tough life.
Whatever criticism you have about who this person is, like, that's a lot to go through in a lifetime.
It's a tough life. Yeah. Did Cody have a tough life?
No. Actually, I think he did. I think his father was a nightmare.
Yeah.
Which is why I think he's probably a nightmare.
I think that farm, because Brooke talked once, because she went down some rabbit holes. She watched these videos from a cousin, Ben Brown or something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And so it sounds like the place was a nightmare. I think Dad was a nightmare. And I think that he's, I don't think he's very happy. And I think, he wants all the kids to come around and maybe do what he did with his father, which is kiss the ring.
Yep.
And they're not willing to.
And now Cody is saying, I'm not questioning this. I know that I can't be married to Meri, but we had a great memory. Okay, so that is on record now.
Yes.
You loved her and you had a great experience. Done. Well, let's never change that again because he
5 minutes from now,
constantly.
5 minutes from now, he's going to be like, I never liked her.
Snip, snap. I can't.
You don't know the toll that 5 vasectomies has on a person.
So now Jen hugs Meri and she's like, are you okay? And I wrote, Meri has a glow up in these new confessionals.
Oh, she looks fantastic.
Yeah. So Brooke and I try not to talk about people's bodies, but do we think she's using some Ozempics, or what do we think's going on here?
She definitely is on a health journey of some kind. Let's just say that. She needs to lay off the tanner though.
Yes.
Or get out of the sun if that's what that is, because
and a good
you're
hot
going to
oil
get skin
treatment.
cancer.
I'm a lady of a certain age. I'm going to a VO5 hot oil treatment. When the little cup that we would do, she could use that very much. But she looks fantastic.
And she's feeling herself.
And she is, which is good. And I'm happy for her. Yeah, I really am. listen, I wouldn't be Meri's friend. I think she's like kind of a dork.
No.
I wouldn't hang out with her, but I am happy that she's feeling like she's happy.
Yeah, me too.
Know?
Yeah.
So Meri is on the verge of tears. Jen is like, are you okay? And Jen says, that was unexpected. Mm-hmm. And it was.
Yeah.
And Meri on the couch says, you are saying things like you never loved me, but now you're sobbing and saying we had something special. Which is it?
Mm-hmm. Fair
I'm
question.
here for this, Meri. Mm-hmm. Now, Jen says, this has been 8 years coming for you, Meri, but he clearly hasn't been dealing with it. And Jen on the couch says, I met the family in Vegas and I was there a lot. And Cody absolutely had favorites and spent the majority of his time at Robyn's. I saw it and my husband saw it.
Good for you, girl. Thank you very much. We all knew it to be true. But now a neutral third party and fourth party of her husband who, I mean, obviously Jen has an agenda here. She's Meri's best friend. She's always going to be Team Meri. But to go, this wasn't made up by any of these wives. This was what happened.
Listen, I think get a deposition, put these motherfuckers under subpoena and get them all just testify. They're not allowed to plead the fifth. Let's get it done.
Yeah.
What can we charge them with? I don't know.
Getting there, don't you think? I feel like we are finally, these people are finally telling us the truth that we've known, that we've been watching. We have been Jen this whole time, like watching. And they've made us feel like, no, you're crazy. And now it's like, thank you. Yes.
Tess, would you say they were gaslighting us?
Yes, a little bit.
Tess, do you feel safe now?
Do you feel emotionally safe in this conversation?
Much safer now. and listen, and why they did what they did, I don't, again, because I tend to I'm always able to give people the benefit of the doubt, but I do feel like a lot of it was wrapped up in the fact they felt like they couldn't be honest with the audience, with people about what's going on, because this was their livelihood. I mean, this was, when Jen said it wasn't just one thing, she's right. That's it.
They had an image to protect.
Yeah. And marriages don't end just because of one thing. Someone might have an affair, but it's never about the affair. It's about all the things that led up to this person having the affair, right?
Correct.
So that's the thing is that it isn't just one thing. It's been so layered, and it's nice to finally see that they're entering into this new phase of like, we don't have to lie. We're not going to lie anymore. And again, I think it's because of this religion and the fact that they were sort of forced to lie a lot.
Yeah.
That they got very used to lying. And the farther they've gotten away from all of that, the more they're like, oh, we can be authentic.
Well, and I think too, let's go back to my queen and the fight. She pulled that fuck you out pretty quick with Cody. That has been said before. That has been uttered many times between them in
that
private.
was not the Band-Aid ripping off of fuck you.
She wasn't like, fuck you. It was just real right at the fuck you. Like she said it a million times. So Jen says, you've had time to mourn this, and he hasn't. Meri says, I still am mourning it. And Jen's like, no. We're not doing that. Not going back. And Meri says, I'm not running back to him. Good, Meri, because that's not an option.
No.
Yeah.
But, when you have a split, you question, like, did I do the right thing? And she says, it would be easier if he was mean and a jerk. To which I say Jen should have, like, popped in the VHS tape of last season.
And every talking head where he's like, I hate Meri. I hate Meri. I never liked her. I hate her. She's ugly. She's stupid. She's fat. She's gross. Like every horrible thing.
We want her to live in the barn dominium.
Right.
Yes.
Put her in the barn. That's right. With my trash and my lawnmower.
So Jen now,
I forgot about the barn dominium.
Jen now in her confessional says, I don't think it was one thing that broke up the family, but Flagstaff really divided them. And then COVID was the final straw. Yeah. And she says Meri moved to Arizona to continue to try, but seeing him, and she says, fell. So she's really got that accent down. Seeing him
straight
fell.
Up Utah.
And she said that was the end for Meri. And the majority of the responsibility in polygamy lies on the husband. So whose fault is this?
Yeah. No, she summed it up perfectly. She basically said he married 4 women. It was his job to figure out how do you make these 4 women each feel special and individual and loved? And yeah, he failed.
So Meri and Jen tell the camera, like, basically they're in a confessional together now. And Jen is like, he can fuck right off. I'm walking you down the aisle.
Yeah, Jen does not want her position as best friend usurped in any way, shape, or form.
Listen, Jen, like all of us, has earned this.
Yes. She has.
She has. She really has.
Yeah.
I mean,
she's a good friend. Like, I think she's a goofball and a little bit of a strange weirdo. I don't need to be her friend, but she is loyal. She is dedicated.
I agree.
She's got Meri's back every time. Like, we should all have such a good best friend.
I agree.
Yeah.
So now we're going to scoot on over to Christine's, where Savannah's graduating and they're having a party.
Okay. One question. Why are we having this party in Salt Lake?
I don't know. I don't know what's happening here.
She lives in Flagstaff.
I think Janelle didn't want to have to throw a party. She was like, how do I do this so I don't have to throw it, pay for it, clean it up, or do anything? Christine will do it. Great.
Maybe Janelle did not want
any chance of Cody showing up.
Savannah to want Cody to come.
Maybe. Maybe.
I don't know, but Janelle on the couch says, we've always had flash mobs for these graduation parties.
Oh, God.
We saw one. Have we seen more than one flash mob?
Yeah, there've been a number of flash mobs over the years. Yeah, unfortunately.
Okay. We see Gabe loving up on his mom. We see Savannah holding Maddie's new baby. We do see Garrison. He's there. We see him walking through.
Yeah, but they're trying not to have him show up a lot, which is making me sad.
Yeah, I know, but I respect their decision. Whatever that is.
Whatever. Yeah. I hope whatever the decision is, it was Janelle's decision.
Yes, me too.
That's what I hope.
And not Cody's. God, I hate him. I'm sorry. So we see Janelle showing David a baby picture of Savannah. And she's like, this is the only picture I have of Savannah. Why?
Well, I'm guessing.
Was there a fire? Were they in Hurricane Katrina?
She was the 12th child at that point. I think they were just tired.
Yeah.
I agree, but take a picture.
Well, they did. There it is. There's your picture. Dude, I'm an only child and I think I could find like 7 pictures of me. So,
don't you wonder, and I'm guilty of this sometimes. Like, do you think they could just take a picture of like Gwendolyn and be like, oh, there's Savannah?
A lot of these kids look a lot alike. Actually, I think they could take Savannah Maddie photos. Yeah. Interchange them.
Yeah, like I interchange my kids all the time. I'll be like, oh yeah, that's you. Yeah, that's you. So Janelle, Cody says, I did not expect to be invited because everybody hates me. And Janelle on the couch says, I'm not inviting them. And Savannah doesn't have anything to do with Cody and Robyn. So not happening.
Makes me sad. Makes me sad for Savannah. It does.
Yeah. I hope Cody, even if, all she gets out of this is a big fat check from him, I hope he at least sent her something.
I hope so too.
It doesn't replace him being a decent father, but at least it's something. No. So we get a quick scene of David holding Maddie's baby while Maddie tells Aspen that her kids call him Grandpa David.
Whoa. Whoa. And particularly in light of the fact that we know she has nothing to do with Cody. She has cut him. He's never even met Josephine. She has cut this man out of her life, and now her polygamous other mother, new husband, is the grandfather to her children.
Tess, are you of the camp of we're very happy for Christine, but like we just need you to bring that energy down a little bit now?
Oh God, yeah. I mean, it's been a lot, and this episode was lower. I mean, next week we're going to see her with the wedding dress shopping. We're going to have to get back to it, but. Yeah, I mean, Christine has been a lot. I know people find her very annoying. And yeah, she is moving at light speed with this guy. I am so happy it has all worked out. Yeah. I think that it's hard. Some of it, watching it all is kind of boring because we know how it turns out.
Well, that was my next question to both of you. Do you think you would feel differently about her storyline if we didn't know how it ended up?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm just bothered. Like a lot of people are like, she's an adult. Her children are adults. She can do what she can absolutely do what she wants. But the reality is their kids, all of her kids are now going to have the opportunity to watch her on TV going, I don't care how my kids feel about it. Well, that's just shitty.
And the thing is, like, I have divorced without children. My parents divorced with me as their child. And I could tell you those two experiences are very different. When you divorce with children, I think you need to accommodate your children and take their feelings into account. And Cody's not doing that. Well, Cody's an asshole. You're better than Cody.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I feel like she needed, not for her, but for them, just a little bit more time.
And Tess, I liked what you and Brooke said last week of her being like, saying to Isabel, like, everything's done. Everything's not done. You're getting married in 7 months. We're going wedding dress shopping next week.
Yeah. Like, she's going to be bridezilla. And
it's not all done. If she had said to her, okay, David and I are living together. We're engaged. We're not getting married for a couple of years. We're in no rush. We're just going to settle into this life. And then we're going to get married. And it won't be on the cover of fucking People magazine. Then she could say to Isabel, it's all done. But no, poor Isabel is like, boop, boop, boop.
I was 21 years old when my parents divorced, and my dad immediately got a new girlfriend. And there was nothing she could have done for us to be okay with that situation. Like, we just weren't okay with it. We weren't okay with the speed of it. And like, he moved in with her and everything. It caused a huge rift in our relationship with him. Like, it just, we were not ready for it. And we were begging him, like, please just let us get over this and move. Like, you could date her fine, but like, so I just see the kid's point of view in this, and that's unfortunately just my bias here.
Same.
Well, that's what Brooke and I were talking about, because we're children of divorce, but we were much younger. I was 6 and Brooke was 10. And so the thing is that that's what we were saying, like, truly still lives there.
Yeah.
Truly, you are introducing a man that you have not known for an entire year and putting him in your home with your teenage daughter.
Yeah.
And so that's the part that really bugs me, is that it's like, and I think, is Isabel still there? I mean, she's still very young. She still needs a lot of this. I think that no wonder they're feeling what they're feeling. And it is a lot. And I think that I've worked with enough people where it is fascinating to hear the stories, like how old you are when your parents split up, like what it's like for you.
Yeah.
Because for me, I have no memory of any of it. My father moved on very, very quickly. But I have I have very little memories of that. My sister does. She has much better memories. And then, you know, people hear about like someone getting divorced at 21 and you think, well, aren't you lucky? And I'm like, I don't know. I think it's really hard when you're an adult, because then your parents treat you like an adult and tell you exactly what they think about your partner. At least at 6, my parents were like, oh, daddy's moving out now. I mean, you know, I didn't know the undercurrents of everything that's happening. I think when you're an adult and your parents get divorced, now you know everything. Now they're telling you everything. And you're like, and you didn't need to know that about your parents.
No, I agree 100%.
It's destabilizing whenever it happens.
Yes.
And like you, Tess, I was 4. Like, my experience of my parents is not as a couple.
Yes.
At all. And so that had a different impact on me. But my dad was always very much like, if you have a problem with someone I'm dating, I want you to tell me. And then, like, basically, like, I had a veto card that I could play. Now, I played it once in like my 30s, and he just kind of was like, whatever. But that's a whole other thing. But like, he always prioritized my experience in light of the relationship, which I think you have to do when you have a kid.
Yeah, and my dad did not. But I was 21.
But you were still a kid. Yeah.
Right. It was my senior year of college. Like, it was very destabilizing for me. I, at one point, didn't have a home to live in. I didn't walk for my graduation. I didn't have anyone to move me home from college. Like, it was really crazy.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. But I had a base of a solid base of parental unity, if you will. Like, 2 parents who got along, who didn't fight. So it's like,
there's no better or
there's
worse.
no
It's
better
just
option.
different.
There isn't.
It's just different.
I've been through this with enough people where I've said, listen, you're yelling and screaming in the other room. Because I have clients that, should divorce and they don't. And it's a little bit like, yeah, your kid's picking up on this. They're going to know, they're going to feel it. It's not going to be, because I've talked to those people, they know that their parents never got along, or mom slept on the couch, or dad slept on the couch. So that's the thing. It's like, ultimately what you want is a happy, healthy relationship. But then that's the ultimate. So how do you get that? How do you find that? So that might be together, that might be apart.
Yes.
And I think that Christine is, I'm sorry, but she's acting just as immature and just as digging in as Cody and some of the other people. She's not as bad as Cody. And I think she feels like, because she has been wronged for so many years, because she has not gotten this love for him for so many years, that this is okay. But the problem is that that's been your experience. It hasn't been your kid's experience.
Exactly.
And quite frankly, these kids aren't asking for a lot. They're just asking for you to slow things down a little bit. And I don't think that's a lot to ask. I really don't.
One of the things, like when my husband and I were dating, and we got to the point where it made sense for me to meet his son, who was 12 and a half at the time. We were very intentional and very slow about it. And thankfully, my husband really kind of looked to me because he's like, you've had this experience. His parents are still happily married almost, 50 or 60 years. So they're fine, but 55 years, whatever it is. But like the thing I kept having to remind my husband is like, we're 6 months into this relationship. We're real solid. We're real good. As far as his son is concerned, this relationship is 2 weeks old. Is 3 weeks old. Is 6 weeks old.
But Christine didn't even have that 6 months ahead of time.
She didn't have that 6
months
ahead
like
of
2
time.
weeks.
I know. But it's like, you have to, just because you're at a certain place doesn't mean everyone around you is in that place too. So you need to give them time to get onto the new Christine and David Island.
And a lot of that
still
is like
rowing their way there. They're not there.
How could we expect her to have that insight when she was raised in that religion and had
She's 20 years, emotionally 20.
She is emotionally like 17.
Yeah.
She is just, okay. So now we have this little scene where Janelle pulls Maddie and Caleb upstairs and they're going to talk about buying land. And Janelle, what's that? Data Farms. Yeah. And she's like, we're finally paying off Coyote Pass. And she's wired her check to the bank, her funds to the bank directly.
Smart.
To the title company.
She didn't send it to Cody. Very smart.
And she says, Cody better have his shit there by the deadline. That's all I'm saying. And they have found a farm in North Carolina. And Maddie's asking what Janelle's plans are. So from what I've made sense of here, this land needs to be subdivided. So it's not, they want it subdivided into 5 lots. It's only 4 currently, I believe. Right? Yes.
No, it is 5 currently. Hold on. Have your little thing. It's 5 because there's like the 3 and then there's 2. Like if you look at the map, there are 3 vertical ones and 2 horizontal ones.
Okay, hold on.
Cody's name's on everything.
But I think that's how they want it. I don't think it's like that yet.
I think that's the other way around. I think that you're right. I think that's how they want it, but it's not currently how it is. So this is where Brooke had. Brooke did watch the episode, and so this was Brooke's comment about this.
Okay, please, yes. Okay, this is the lawyerly comment here.
She was saying, "Why, in God's name, is Janelle sending money without any kind of legal document that says I get 1/4 of this?" Because she said she's just sending the money. There's no
contract
as of right now. As of right now, this is where her name is. And Brooke was like, "Why would you give him dime one without drawing up paperwork that says if I give you this money, I get 1/4 of this?"
Well, her name is on 2 lots.
Okay, so maybe she already has it and she's not worried about it. Yeah. But it's mainly like they're all worried about Cody screwing them over. So you're just going to keep sending him. It was a little bit like you're just going to keep sending him money. And she did say, I hired a lawyer. So maybe she drew all this and maybe he signed it. Who knows? But this was her first comment was like, there's no legal standing for her now. And her just sending that money if there's nothing there. And I also want to say that a lot of times people think that, well, it's on this reality show. So isn't that proof that they said this?
Nope.
And if anyone remembers a great show that I wish was still on called The Prophet with Marcus Lemonis that was on like CNBC. It was about like he would take these struggling businesses and like, get them going. I love this show. So one of the episodes, I think in an early season was he agreed to buy this product from someone and basically, they reneged on the deal and Marcus took him to court and they played the video for the judge and the judge is like, listen, this is a reality show. I don't know if this is real or not. This is supposed to be, this might have been for drama or for TV. Yeah. So she has no stand unless she got him to sign something. She has no standing right now. Yeah. So she just sent him more money that she does not have.
Right. Yeah.
Assuming that he's going to do the right thing. And I think Meri's being even more of an idiot, but
she so thinks that Cody's going to act in her best interest, and Cody will never act in anybody's best interest but Cody Brown's. Period.
So according to Starcasm, this is how it's currently split. It's 4 lots currently. So you have Chris. Oh, that's old. Okay, you have Cody and Janelle on 1 lot. You have Cody and Robyn on a 2nd lot. You have Cody, Janelle, and Meri, and then you have Cody and Robyn on the right lot. So they need to get it subdivided into 5 lots.
Okay.
And that's what Janelle wants to do. And Janelle says she's getting 4 of the 14 acres and it will divide 4 ways. Maddie says nothing. Caleb says nothing. Janelle says, at this point, Maddie, I don't know. I have to just get this done because I don't want to go toe to toe with whatever crazy logic they have.
Uh-huh.
And Caleb goes, I'm so excited and I'm very proud of you.
Caleb hates Cody.
She also
so glorious given their previous love affair.
I know. I was going to say,
so
this must kill Cody that Caleb hates him so much.
She also says she has no guarantee that someone's generosity will rule out here. So she has attained a lawyer.
Good for her.
Now we get some footage of Meri in London. And she goes to Stonehenge and she's crying. And I just want to say something ridiculous. This resonated with me. This is how I felt when I saw the Pacific Ocean for the first time.
I cried the first time I saw the Pacific Ocean too.
Yes.
So, I get it.
I spent I became obsessed with California when I was 15. So probably 25 years trying to get to California to see the Pacific Ocean. So the first time I saw it, sobbed like a baby. So I get it. Yes. I know it's so stupid, but I never had the money or the means to go. I just didn't.
And I think you build these places up and they become very important to you. And I thought it was sweet how excited she was to be there.
I did too.
I really did.
I did too. I got it.
I'm proud of her. I don't think going to London, I don't know if I would go to London, but I mean, I guess I think I would. But I mean, I don't know. That's a lot. You know, you just ended this long marriage and you're going by yourself. And
But Meri has done a lot by herself. And I think she's just getting stronger and stronger and stronger. Yep. It's kind of like when Christine went to Isabel's surgery by herself and said, like, I realized I could do it. Yeah. So now we're back to the party. And Christine says that she wanted to do a flash mob. So she sent everyone a dance and nobody completed the assignment. So Maddie instead did this trash where she just got on a chair and acted like she was having some kind of seizure. And Savannah was confused. And Christine says it was a fail.
By the way, I watched that at 2 times speed. You thought it looked real weird at 1 time speed. I really thought Maddie might be possessed by a devil at this point and somehow was like being exercised in the middle of this room. It was
Is this a trend? Is this a trend where people get on chairs?
The Harlem Shake?
I don't know.
I mean, we're all ladies of a certain age here.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't understand the tick and the talk. I'm sure it has something to do
I don't understand the milkshakes in the yard. I don't get it.
I'm going to tell you right now, if Christine had sent me instructions and a flash mob thing, I'd ignore it too. I would have totally ignored it. I would have been like, oh, I'm not doing this.
What's so funny though is I feel like Christine was pissed.
Yeah,
I think she was pissed.
So mad. No, I wrote down, Christine's very upset. It's not fine. And this is her house. And you know, when she throws a party at her house, she likes to be a little controlling about things. She sure had.
So Cody on the couch says, I would have loved to have been part of Savannah's life, but they are part of this collusion that seems to hate Robyn. And I think it's only because they're jealous. No one is jealous of Robyn. No.
By the way, I saw a video of Gwen, some reel or something of her commenting on season 19. I don't think it was her Patreon thing, but maybe
she's not doing it anymore.
Somehow she was recording and she just went off about the ugly art in Robyn's house. She's like, when my dad, she's like, apologies to the artist. This is not about you, but that art is ugly. And when my dad started buying it, I was like, what are you doing? This is terrible.
Could you imagine? Now, you know, Amanda, how I am with money.
I do.
Could you imagine you have 19 children? And you're spending money on art. What the fuck are you doing?
But yeah.
Oh, 18. I'm sorry. So, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you
ridiculous. Doing? Yeah.
And you have children that are small, that are going to need to go to college.
Savannah is living in an apartment with mismatched locks, and Janelle has to leave her bedroom to change her mind because it's so small. Like, come on.
Well, but this was, I got really caught in the whole Cody, I would like to be in Savannah's life. I'm like, has anyone prevented you? Don't you live in the same town? Like this powerlessness that he feels. And it's just, I mean, the ego of course they're all upset because they're mad because I love Robyn and not them. Right? Like this is why, and they're all colluding.
Because they just want my dick and my love and my attention. And I'm not
and my 6-pack abs.
Yes. And I'm so great. And I wasn't invited to this party, but I have no way of having a relationship with Savannah. I was just,
Yeah, no.
This makes zero sense. None of this makes any sense.
Tess, I feel like we haven't done a proper introduction with Leo.
Ah, yes, Tess. This is Leo. Tess. Yeah.
he just
does he come on every podcast?
Pretty much.
He makes an appearance at some point.
Yeah.
Pretty much every time.
He's just
sometimes he makes noise.
If I let my dogs in, I'm in my office. One of my two would be up on my lap too. There's always one. You always, when you have multiple, there's always one that's like a little bit like I could take or leave you, and then there's one that's like I love you, I love you, I love you.
Leo would move into my face if he could.
Yeah,
if that was possible.
That was like Jenny and me growing up. Like Jenny could take or leave my parents, and I was like, oh my God, need me, love me, be around me constantly. So Janelle on the couch says Cody is the problem here. He seems to think that if he leaves Robyn behind, we're going to welcome him. That is not the case.
No.
He is estranged from 95% of his children. So he's not welcome regardless of who he brings.
Wow. Good job, girl. Yeah.
This is season 20 is going to be interesting how all this lands.
Yes.
Or season 26 by the time we get to it. But yeah,
I know.
So Robyn says, we always had big parties for our kids, and that's just not how it went this year. Wah, wah. Cody on the couch says, this just sucks. I have a whole side of my family that's decided they're a family and we're out. Oh, they'll invite me to their club if I leave Robyn behind, but I'm not doing that. No, they won't. No, they won't. No. So now we see Meri driving into Flagstaff. She's going to Cody and Robyn's house to sign something to pay off Coyote Pass. And she says she wrote Cody a check.
Again. So, and why did she need to physically go? Like, if I was Meri's therapist, I would say, no, you need to get a lawyer. Like I would
send Jen.
I would send Jen, or I would
wire the money to the title agency.
Do what she did, get the piece of paper in writing, do something. But why do you need to physically go? And maybe, I don't know, maybe it's the producers. I can imagine with these shows, these producers give you such a guilt trip all the time. And I think Janelle ignores it.
True.
Meri feels bad.
True.
I'd be that person. I'd be Meri, be like, all right, fine, I'll go in person.
Well, that's probably what happened.
I don't
with
want to disappoint you.
That's probably what happened with Savannah's graduation party. Like, Maddie, just get on a chair and do something weird. And Janelle just show up there. Like,
yeah.
So I wrote this, they're splitting this profit 4 ways they keep talking about. So they better be splitting the payment 4 ways. Cody better be paying 50%.
Correct.
And I think he is. I
hope so.
I think it sounded that way. So she gets to Cody's and he and Robyn sit down with her at the table. The art is on full display.
There's so much fucking art.
We saw a lot of art.
Jesus Christ.
Yep. Kids are nowhere to be seen, which is my theory that they will not film in the house with the kids, but they did it last week with the I'm moving to Parowan. Wah. No, Meri, don't go, please. He asks her about her travels, and Mary's like, well, Stonehenge was just everything I thought it would be. And he's like, that's it? That's it? I mean, wasn't there anything cooler? Like, did you go to the Twinnings tea shop or the Embassy of the Republic of Texas? Which I looked up things to do in London that were lame. I just want to talk about the Embassy of the Republic of Texas for
There's
one.
really an Embassy of the Republic of Texas in London?
Like, what is this?
Yeah.
Okay, so built in 1730, this property at 4 St. James Street. Okay. Between 1836 and 1845, this building was home to perhaps one of its most unusual tenants, the Embassy of the Republic of Texas. At the time of its founding, Texas was an independent sovereign country with its borders under threat from both the United States and Mexico. The president of Texas, Sam Houston, sent Dr. Asheville Smith, Secretary of State, to establish this Texan diplomatic representation in England.
Interesting.
How weird is that? That would be right up Cody's alley.
That would be right up Cody's alley.
That's where he would go.
You know why?
You thought you were just listening to a recap of Sister Wives. Now we got some history.
And Robyn want to go to the Twinnings tea shop.
You know, as part of Cody's Manosphere deep dive 4chan, he's a sovereign nation guy. Sovereign state thing. Yep. So this would be right up his alley.
100%.
Yep.
Meri is really offended because she's like, dude, I have literally talked about how much I have loved Stonehenge for 100 years of our marriage.
Yeah.
And Robyn's like, oh, it sounds really cool. Meri tells the camera, it's interesting when you realize something that is so meaningful to you and to your partner, he could care less. In other words, it's so meaningful to her, he could give a shit. I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah. Because he doesn't give a shit. Because he doesn't give a shit.
Because it doesn't know these women. Doesn't involve him.
These women, he doesn't know these women unless it's about him.
Psych Legal Pop. We'll be back after these messages. Yeah, I also think it's that. And also, I will say that, Cody's very ADD. And I don't know if he's ever taken anything for it or what the deal is. But it's also a very ADD trait. Like, if it doesn't interest you, you're not going to focus on it. So I think Cody's a very special person where he's got this ADD. And usually the ADD person, hopefully they get help and they get medication and they figure it out. But usually they have to work on, right? Like, okay, I have to work on being interested in this. I have to focus on this. I have to do this and that. And I think his narcissism prevents him from doing that. It's like this double whammy of like not only not getting it, but not being willing to get it and not thinking that he should have to get it. And that's the part about him that I think is maybe they're waking up to, or these layers of the fact that like, oh, wow, it's not just that he was busy. It's not just that he, has a lot on his mind. There's so much, he really doesn't care. And some of it is on him and some of it is this illness and, all of it.
So Meri now can't let this go. And she gets passive aggressive. And I think this is what we see when Cody says, I never knew if she was serious or not.
Right.
Yes.
She's like, Cody, remember when we used to be married and used to be interested in one another? Do you remember that? And Robyn's like, should I leave? And Meri says, no, you sit right. It reminded me of the episode of Friends when Ross and Rachel are fighting over the list.
Right.
And the rest of the group is like, should we go? No, stay right there. And she keeps like dressing them down. And now Janelle says on the couch, Cody forgets things other people care about unless he's interested in it or he can use it as leverage.
Yep. That's the manipulation. That's the other side of him.
And Christine on the couch says, if you want to do things with Cody, you have to live in his world and do things only he's interested in. And Cody says, hey, I'm a guy. I don't pay attention to these girly things. Sometimes I remember things, sometimes I don't. Bitches be shopping. He's just like, oh God, he's the worst. All right. So now Janelle says, I wired a fourth of the money to the title company. And we get a little thing of Robyn like, I'm so excited. We're paying off the property.
Okay, whatever, girl.
So now Meri says, look, we need to discuss dividing this up now. And Cody says, I've spoken with Janelle. And because there are woods on ours, we need to decide to do an appraisal, or are you happy with the 4 acres? And so basically, Cody doesn't want to do an appraisal.
No, because he doesn't want anyone to know the true value of this property.
Yes.
Yeah. And my question is, I would think that woods would be a negative, right? But I guess it's
not
a positive.
Not there.
I guess there it's a positive.
I was like, how is woods a positive?
You're in a desert, essentially, right, Amanda?
Yeah, I mean, it's high desert, but I don't know. It's a ski town. It's in the high elevations.
It can also be like you can have the woods logged if you wanted to, which is valuable. Like people do that around here.
Maybe there is some value to it, but I just didn't understand how they were thinking about these. My absolute favorite line is, we're going to have to find a land appraiser.
Where? Excuse me, I'm going to go on the Google. Land appraiser.
Where are we going to find a land appraiser?
From my understanding, I just had property subdivided. A subdivision is going to cost you a couple $1,000.
Yeah.
But an appraisal, I think, it's under $1,000, I think, to have land appraised.
I mean, to get your house appraised out here in California, it's like $1,000, $1,500, something like that. So divided by 4.
Right.
Whatever that is. Yeah. You've already given a lot of money to this place.
The subdivision is the expensive part. That's going to be, we paid $5,000 or $6,000 for a small subdivision.
So I just typed into ye old Google, land appraiser, Flagstaff, Arizona. First hit on Yelp, top 10 real estate appraisers in Flagstaff. Second, AZ Mountain Appraisers.
There you
You're
go.
Good. It's really easy to find one, dude.
But I think this is very the other part of it too, when they were talking about dividing up the land and Cody was saying, oh, well, I don't know. I just had to make a decision and I just had to figure it out and I just had to get it done. It's like, huh? You're buying something, you're spending a lot of money on it. And if the person's coming to you going, divide, don't you stop and go, well, maybe I don't need this land that badly. Like,
right.
what kind of deals are you making that you are under such pressure? And I think what we're seeing here is a little bit of, yes, he doesn't want someone to come in to kind of mess up his system of what he wants. But I also think this shows you a little bit of how he is in business. Yeah. Like how he thinks about things. Like, oh God, you're going to land, but that's going to take time and effort and blah, 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 blah. It's like, no, do you not understand how a business runs or work? Like, he doesn't get the basics. Meri does.
These people grew up poor. Like this happened to my family. Like we grew up, my parents had no fucking idea how to handle a mortgage, how to handle credit cards, how to, they just have no financial literacy whatsoever. So you take somebody like that and you start giving them money from this show, which we hear they make pretty good money. And it's like I'll never forget when my dad was a mechanical engineer for a union shop in the 80s, which made a lot of money.
Yeah. God, yeah.
And they didn't know how to fucking, what's that word I'm looking for? Squandered. They squandered it all on a house that they couldn't fix. Like they just had no way to know what to do because both of them came from families who never owned homes, never had good jobs. You know what I mean? So it was like, these people Cody doesn't know what to do with money. They needed to hire like a financial consultant and be like, we have all this money. Here's what we have in Vegas, which I would argue is another poor investment, but whatever.
Right.
Here's what we have. We want to get to that here. What do we do? But Cody doesn't, he just runs around and
he's all about the instant gratification. He can't wait 10 minutes.
No.
To
that's what it is.
Consider everything. So it's instant gratification. And I think he's constantly played a shell game with all of the women in this family.
Yes.
Robyn's probably the one who knows the most, but understands the least.
Yeah. And Janelle, I think, understands the most.
And knows very little.
And knows very little. And she was probably screaming to him behind the scenes, like, can we talk to somebody about what to do? Like, Janelle is very methodical.
Yep.
And I would argue she probably, if anybody was saying like, please, let's consult with somebody, it would come from her. But Cody's probably like, no, you're a woman. Go shop. Like, let me do what I have to do.
Okay, Pastor Cal.
So Robyn has 4 acres. Janelle has 4. That's 8. That means there are 6 acres left. So Cody's going to get 3. Meri's going to get 3. And I wrote, so Cody and Robyn get 7.
7.
Yep. That's how this works. So the land is not subdivided yet, which might cost a couple $1,000s. Cody wants the subdivision so they have a 5th lot for his kids to inherit.
None of your kids want it, dude.
No.
Nobody wants this.
There is what do I have here? Oh, there's a preconception that the lots with the trees on them are worth more. We don't know if that's true. Meri wants the appraisal. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I was kind of like, I think you should be careful how much you're pressing here to get legal stuff done because they have no legal standing.
Right.
Like, that's kind of like what Brooke is saying. Like, they have no legal rights to this. So how hard do you want to push this?
Yeah. The less information everyone has, the better it might be for all of them. Because if they have a lot of details, then Cody can really fuck them over.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's so tricky now because when you really look at how it's divided, what does Meri say? She has 1/3 of one of 4 parcels.
She has 1/3 of a 4th.
Of a 4th of a parcel. So
that math is too hard.
Yeah. I mean, I think we figured out it was 1/16 or something like that. We did something there. We figured that out. But I think, interestingly, as we look at all of this, in some ways, it's almost like Janelle got it. She really saw what was happening, and she really was trying to do Meri a solid. And I kind of felt like, God, Meri, you're going to run right to them and tell them.
Let me take us there. Let me take us there. So now Meri, that asshole, says, oh, well, Janelle came over a couple days ago and was like, you should watch out for yourself. I'm like, Meri!
Come on, girl. Don't. Oh.
Okay.
Meri will always be the pick-me girl for Cody. She will always do whatever it will take to be in Cody's good graces.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's also why she showed up.
So now,
I think,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't know. I was just going to say, I think this is why and this is while we're watching Meri in this transformation, I'm very happy for her. And I know that it's a process, but it is still that thing of like, God, you're going to go and run and tell them right away. And you're saying you feel screwed. You know, you feel like you're not getting what it is. And I don't know. I think there's different ways to treat all of this. And I'm with you, Amanda, that I think that if you go hard charging with lawyers, that you may get screwed in the end. But there's this other part of me that's like, Meri, God, like, when are you going? Is this strategy going to work?
I know.
Because this strategy has not worked for a decade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the part that makes me a little crazy about her sometimes.
Well, Cody's like, there's a developer that would buy it from us. I think that's what they should do. Get it appraised, sell it to the developer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Because no matter what configuration, no one wants to live next to each other.
No.
None of these people want to live next to each other. And from what we understand, Ace and Caitlin have been out there. Other listeners have been out there. There's a lot of properties on, like, Coyote Pass isn't just the 14 acres that the Browns own. It is a large area. Mm-hmm. And they're developing it more and more. Mm-hmm. Just sell it.
Yep.
Get it out of your, and then go buy your $2.5 million house across town. Oh, wait, I think that's what you did.
Well, Amanda, they're not going to sell it because guess who doesn't want to? Robyn. Robyn's like, well, I don't want to sell. I just wrote, I hate this fucking idiot. Because now she's like, oh, I think Meri should build out there too. What are you not understanding, Robyn?
But it's just hilarious. It feels like a 13-year-old slumber party of like, well, I'm not going to move if so-and-so is going to move. And if so-and-so moves over here, then I'm not going to be here. And then if I'm going to build a fence, am I going to build a big fence? It's like, no one can all live on this land together. Like, there's no configuration known to man.
Well, it's only Robyn who thinks they should all live together. Yeah. Because Robyn also wants Janelle to live out there. Nobody likes you. Why are you not understand? Read the room.
Yes, Robyn, read the fucking room.
Why? Why do you need Janelle? You do not talk to Janelle. Why do you need Janelle?
She just wants to show that on camera. She doesn't give a shit about Janelle. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Janelle on the couch says, "Dear God, please end this. Make it stop." Meri tells them about Janelle coming. Now, Janelle says, look, my conscience dictated that I spoke with Meri about the property. No, I don't think that's what happened here. I think that was Janelle putting out a little feeler. Mm-hmm. Like, can I get Meri? And she immediately recognized the error of her ways and backed up.
Yeah.
But I think that's what was happening.
Yeah. And I think she was trying to get an ally.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Cody says, Janelle doesn't trust me because she would screw me in a second. And I'll be honest, I thought about screwing her. Ha, 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 ha. But my wife with the conscience won't let me. Ha, ha, ha. I'm like, what is happening?
And the idea that Robyn is the one with the conscience? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, come on. Mm-hmm. Come on. This woman will sell anybody up a creek.
Yep.
If that means she gets what she wants with Cody.
Mm-hmm. Now we have Meri pointing out she's only a third owner of one of the four parcels. Okay, maybe I can do this math. So right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 names on this. Would that mean that it would be divided into 9 pieces? So Meri owns 1/9. Cody would own 4/9.
So half, basically.
Yeah. Janelle would own 2/9, and Robyn would also own 2/9. Did I do it right, Amanda?
I think maybe.
I don't know. You are so asking the wrong people.
In the comments, correct me, please. Okay. So Meri points out, like I said, she's only third owner of 4th parcels. She doesn't know why she was not involved with putting the names on these lots. And Robyn immediately jumps to Cody's defense and says, Cody, the names were just temporary and Cody made the decision, nobody else.
Okay, liar,
Robyn.
pants on fire.
You had to sign something for your name to be on it. Mm. So Meri on the couch says, I'm only on one property and Cody and Robyn are on a lot more. And I hope they will be fair. And I hope they'll be honest. And I hope it doesn't get ugly. Back at the table, Meri says it would be fair to get it appraised before they make a decision. And Cody sighs. And this is the Cody. I don't want to put any more money into it. It's just a source of pain. Poor boo-boo is real hurt over this. And Janelle says he's going to make out like a bandit. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cody now says that he doesn't want the house he lives in. Did you get this?
Yeah.
This is why they moved. We were wondering why they moved.
Wait. Say that again. Maybe I missed this.
Okay, so let me skip down a little bit. So Cody tells Meri he has mixed emotions about Coyote Pass and building there. And on the couch, he says, if Janelle builds, I wouldn't want to build, whatever. And he's like, Robyn being the patron saint of everyone's feelings would want to try and be good neighbors with Janelle because she's an angel from heaven. Yeah, Robyn is just so great.
Sure.
Janelle's like, let's just sell this shit and move on. But if I have to build out there, I'm putting up a 25-foot fence. So I don't have to look at these people.
And a moat and a dragon and a drawbridge.
I actually wrote a moat.
We're gonna basically build Winterfell. We're gonna build Winterfell out there, and no one's getting in.
So Cody says, this house, has been an enormous sense of pain for me. Not because of us, not because of me and Robyn, of course.
No, we're perfect.
But because of what I've gone through here. I can't stay here. So that's why they move.
Oh, that's why, because of the pain of this.
Plus, they can see Coyote Pass from that house.
I just wrote, he's such a fucking baby.
He is. He is a therapist and stuff.
Yeah. Well, and the other part of it too is that it just shows you, I've said this many times, that he's not a good leader and that he is not a good business person, because the minute the minute you all discovered and realized, like, okay, this isn't going to work. None of us, like, it either needs to be one person or nobody. Then you have to start seeing it as an asset. You have to start seeing it as property, but he cannot get himself out of that place. And that's the part that I'm always trying to figure out with him of, like, can you not get yourself out there? Will you won't get yourself out there? Is this part of the manipulation? It's like, why can't you see anything slightly different?
Because it's just, he literally can't see beyond himself.
Yeah.
Right.
He is right here.
Yeah.
So Cody on the couch says, if Meri built out there, hell yeah, I'd sweep your sidewalks and get that snow off your driveway. What? You wouldn't do that if you were married to her.
No.
Yeah. He's breadcrumbing her. I'm sorry.
Yes, he is.
Totally.
And Meri goes, I have a house you can rent. All right. So now we have this scene where Cody's going to meet his brothers in Vegas for a man trip.
Oh my God.
And he wrote, but don't worry, Robyn, audience of one that Cody's always speaking to, because there's no debauchery except for swearing.
So, sounds like a good time.
Guys, let's meet up in Vegas and swear.
Yeah.
I'm all for it. So Robyn on the couch says, I'm glad Cody started to do this again, because this will be healing for him. She's probably glad to be rid of him for a little bit.
I would be.
But why is everything in life, why is everything healing? Why is everything safe or not safe?
Like, who hate therapy.
So one thing all the time. He's just going to go see his brothers. Like, just go.
I know.
Like, why does everything...
Why couldn't he just say, like, you know what? He's been stressed. He really needs this.
Yeah,
that's fine. So his brothers, Scott and Michael, which, it's not lost on me that together they are Michael Scott. And they're making fun of Cody's hair. And Scott, the oldest, is in the AUB religion and lives plural marriage. And Michael is not. And they show this picture of him with a cookie in one hand and a glass of milk in the other. Like he's some rebel.
With his cookies and his milk.
Yes. So now Cody shows up in a hairnet saying if he doesn't dry his hair right, the curls don't happen. And he does say he dyes his whole head. He knows it's cheesy, but it works. No, it doesn't.
No. Robyn taught him the curly girl method, and we have all suffered ever since.
We can never go back. There's this weird scene of them going out to the cul-de-sac, and this is more Cody speak, right? Yeah. Because I have a nostalgic heart for that place. Dude, it's okay to be sad.
Yeah.
It's okay to be sad. Like, you're not some weirdo that has an oddly nostalgic heart. You're just sad, and that's a normal emotion. Like, he's so weird. Why?
I didn't know that was a gated community.
I didn't either. Yeah, I wonder if they gated it. I wonder if they gated it because people keep going out there.
Oh,
no, a lot of communities in Vegas are gated. It's like
really
Florida.
Like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Which is so interesting. And so what, you just need like a 4-digit code to get in, right? My grandfather lived in one of these places and I'm like, everyone knows this code. Why are we pretending?
Right. I think back in the day it was codes. Now I think you just have like probably a little transponder on the windshield on your car.
You
like
go through.
Just go through, yeah.
Okay. So if I stole someone's car, I could easily get into their house.
Correct.
Maybe.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah. Unless they're really, really wealthy. And I assume that those people like the Kardashians in Calabasas, right? That I would assume those people have door. There's a full-time security person.
Probably.
Like this is like a janky, the door just needs to open.
Yeah. So he says this place was special. We did our recommitment ceremony, our mission statement. It's the closest thing I've had to the dream. I don't know if I ever did plural marriage correctly. You didn't. But this was wonderful. And then he says, a year ago, he came here and sobbed. And again, he has to quickly explain it away. Like, I don't know if it was out of nostalgia or some feeling of loss. You were just sad, dude. It's okay. Yeah. And he says, it was like just my memory still had us together in this space. And it's a relatively warm memory for me.
Okay. Can't you just say we were happy then and I'm sad we're not happy now?
Yeah.
Like it's not like, that deep, dude.
I remember after my parents got divorced and sold our house, like I drove by it for years and would be very upset. You know what I mean? And emotional. And I wasn't like calling people up being like, what is wrong with my nostalgic heart? Like, no, you're sad. It's okay.
Yeah.
So Michael asks, is there a chance you'll reconcile? And Cody says, well, not with Janelle because she's free and she's done. And he's like, honestly, he says, this monogamy thing is kind of easy. And he says, with Robyn, I'm just in that safety and that wholeness and that intimacy and that divine relationship. And I don't have to worry about others.
This is the closest he finally got to what we've all been wanting him to say all along, which is,
right here.
I just fell in love with her and not the other ones.
Right here, he says that. He says, on the couch, he says, I was building a family and I loved them. Was I in love with them? Did I have the same experience with each one of them? No, I didn't. I was working really hard to hide what I had with Robyn while I was trying to promote everything else. And I'm like, there it is.
Thank you. Finally.
There it is.
Finally, you just said it, you motherfucker.
Yeah.
And I would have had so much more respect for him if he had said that 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And gone, but I love this family and we're going to keep it together.
Yep.
But this relationship is different.
Yep. Yep.
And that's okay.
But they're in Vegas and this is what they're doing. You know what I mean? It's just like, God, this is lame. I understand they have to do it for the show. I get it. They have to do it for the show.
If I go to Vegas, this is the first thing I'm doing.
Yeah, I would just be like, God, you're not going to go get dinner or like go see a show?
I'm going to go there. I'm going to go to the restaurants. I'm going to go everywhere in Vegas.
We're going to go to Colleen's Consignment, but we're also going to go to In-N-Out Burger because we on the East Coast don't have access to In-N-Out Burger.
I attacked an In-N-Out Burger when I was in San Francisco. We hit that place drunk at like 2 a.m. I did things to that In-N-Out Burger. Just going to say that. Okay. So his brothers ask if he'll ever marry again. And he says, no, being a monogamist is different because there's not this big energy, but it feels right for me. And he says, it kind of sounds romantic, like me and Robyn riding off into the sunset. Good. I wish you would ride off into the sunset and get off my screen. But
not really.
Also never, please. Never quit, please. So Cody says now that he believes polygamy kills emotional intimacy because it makes everyone defensive.
I don't think he's wrong.
There's part of me that wonders too, like, did he keep this family together until most of these children were 18?
So he wouldn't have to pay child support?
Oh, interesting. I didn't even think about
curious
that one.
about that.
I mean, at this point, by the time he and Janelle were really done, Savannah was 18 or days from being 18.
Right.
Truly's the only one.
Right.
And he wasn't till, she just sued him.
Like, I wonder if COVID, he saw the opportunity in COVID, right? Yeah. To hide. But also he was like, this is a convenient time. I don't have to pay. I don't think he would have left. My point is, I don't think he would have left 10 years ago. Because it would have been a huge financial responsibility.
Well, and also the show.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think the show, I think he got himself in, I think he realized he was in a little bit of a pickle, right? Because he meets this woman and he falls in love with her. And I do believe that he fell in love with her. Now, who he fell in love with, we don't know. Because I think he's fallen in love with a version of himself that isn't really Robyn personally. Like, I don't think Robyn's ever been truly herself. With him.
Oh, okay.
I think that's why
Robyn is complacent. Like, she'll just do what he wants her to do.
Well, and yes, and she will agree with him. But I think what's happening now and what's so hard is I think that their relationship really worked in the sense that it worked when there were other wives, when she was the best, when she was being compared to.
Yeah.
And I do wonder how life is going to be for them for the next 10 years, 20 years, because, what will happen if there isn't another bad person to compare them to, right? It's just a very personality thing. People with personality disorders, they love to split and like, you're bad, you're good. They like to do that to people. So without that happening over and over and over again, like this being in your face, like how are they going to do? But I also think that I don't know if he even really knows the real Robyn, or if Robyn's just some version of something that he thinks he would like or wants to have. I just think it's going to be interesting to see. But I think that 10 years, when the show started, he got himself in a little bit of a weird place because it always went back to money and the show. Money and the show.
Little did he know we signed up for the train wreck.
Yes.
Like if this train wreck had started 7 years ago, oh my God, the ratings would have been through the roof. Instead, they were doing flash mobs and the commitment ceremony.
And I think this is the lack of awareness of Cody and a lack of, just emotional intelligence, because I think that anybody else in that moment in time would have been like, oh crap, I really love this fourth wife. Like I feel something for her that I don't feel for these other women. And maybe I need to rethink all of this. And instead of being a classy person and rethinking all of it, he just basically treated all the other women like shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Just
basically. And just was really
he just
mean
Homer
to them.
Simpsoned into the bushes. He just backed up real slow.
And I think that's the piece of it, is I think he thinks the audiences were angry at him because he dumped these other women and he's going to keep his sweet, pretty, wife. But it's like, no, we're annoyed because, or we're criticizing you because we've watched what you've done, and you did the shittiest thing that you could do to these women and your children.
Well, look at
and you're now that nobody wants to talk to you.
Look at what he said to Meri. He's like, I'm glad that this took 7 years for me to be able to finally get my ego in check enough
so that
to
I
be able to be okay with you. What?
Tess, do you watch 90 Day?
No, I used to, but God, it's such a commitment.
It is. It's such a commitment. There's 19,000 versions.
What else are you doing, Tess? Oh, right. You have a job. You have a career.
But there's this woman, Statler, who she was kind of a mess on the show, but she is a holy fucking nightmare on social media and outside the show. And she's walking around going, 90 Day Fiancé made me look stupid, made me create this character, made me do all this. It's like, no, dude, that's not why we don't like you. We don't like you because of everything you're doing outside the show. Cody, we don't like you because you fell in love with Robyn. We don't like you because you treated 3 of your wives and
your children,
13 of your children like shit for years. And you didn't give a fuck.
We saw you tell your sons that they need to move out during a pandemic.
Right.
So that you can come and see their mother and not bring a deadly virus home to the beloved Robyn.
Right. And the tenders.
It wasn't about Janelle. It was about Robyn.
Yeah.
Right. It's just disgusting. So next time on, Christine gets a wedding dress.
Oh, God.
McKelty reminds us that the first dress was real ugly.
I appreciated McKelty going, yeah, that was a real hot fucking mess.
Now, I had to look up. We see Robyn's children so seldom that I had to look up what kid this was. It was Fiona Apple. It was Brianna.
It was Fiona Apple, yeah.
Oh, you didn't know it was Brianna?
No, I thought, is this Aurora? I don't know these kids. I never fucking see them. So Brianna wants to start dating people who believe in the same thing as her. And Robyn says, that's no reason to be at a church. I'm not here for this. I don't it. Please.
Oh, I kind of want it.
I don't.
Wait, what's happening? This is I did not grow up with any religion, and everyone's anti-religion in my family. So what does this mean?
I didn't either.
So Aurora and Brianna have joined a different church, not a Mormon-based church at all. Some evangelical, shitty, we hate queer people, where all the things that the 3 of us would not appreciate about a religious community. This is where they want to start going. I am here for Robyn being pissed off that her kids are choosing a different faith. I am here for her getting hurt.
If it's going to cause strife in Robyn's life, I'm here for it.
This is going to cause, I think, a lot
What
of strife.
I don't want to see is more young women being suckered into a terrible church.
They're already in a terrible church.
Yeah.
All right. They're Cody's children,
we're exchanging one terrible church for another terrible church.
Okay.
I'm just here to watch Robyn have an absolute hissy fit that her children are somehow straying from the path that she thinks they should be on.
But won't Robyn be happier that they're going further into a terrible church?
No, because it's not based on the Book of Mormon.
Oh.
So it's more evangelical.
It's like an evangelical. Yeah, it's like, we're talking like...
Oh, Tess, you got to watch Jesus Camp.
Yeah, we're talking like IBLP, crazy evangelical Jesus stuff. Yeah.
No, I can walk kind of like God put the power in me.
Like people might be talking in tongues at some point.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. So is Robyn still involved in AUB?
I don't know. Cody has said he's left the church.
Yeah.
Robyn has not commented on her faith at all.
Okay.
Other than she wants to live polygamy, apparently, because, she wants to grow old with her sister wives on the porch.
And she wants God to pick their rental. Right.
Yes. Because God cares deeply where Robyn Brown lives.
So some random woman tells Meri that Cody has wanted no one else since he's married Robyn. I don't know who these people are.
That? I was like, is this a psychic? Did she go meet a psychic? And then I'm like, oh, they're having tea. Okay,
it's probably just somebody who watched the show.
Like Meri, this would be like need content. So we're going to just bring viewers on.
This would be like if the three of us met Meri at Twinnings Tea in London. We'd be like, sit down.
Sit down. We have questions.
We have to talk to you.
Yes. And I hope there's a film crew here for it.
Yeah. So that's it. That's where we're leaving.
Oh God. Oh Lordy.
Amanda and I usually do this little thing where we have some comments from our Facebook group. So if you'll indulge me, I have two I'd like to share.
Please.
So Kristen says, the way the Browns move make me want to stick pins in my eyes. This is from last episode.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's moving day, yet there are still dishes in the drying rack on the counter and little knickknacks still above the sink. And she doesn't want her marriage bed with Cody, yet there they are loading it into her truck anyway. And I was like,
didn't even think about that.
Actually, you're right. That.
Yeah. It's bad. And the picture that I think folks have decided that was Leon. That picture that we all thought might be Robyn on the wall is in fact Leon.
Yes.
I hope to God Leon's okay with that picture being shown in their mother's home, but that's a whole other problem.
Yeah.
I think this was just, we're moving the furniture today.
Yeah.
I think we're coming back 29 times to clean it up and do all this.
Well, we saw how they left that house in Wyoming.
Oh, God. Jesus. And how they left the house in Lehigh, you mean?
In Lehigh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
All right. So now Aaron says, Dear gods, please let me see the text where Janelle is asking who the fuck spent this. Those are the new texts of my prayers. Amen. I would love to see those too. This is what we need to subpoena Tim Cook to give us from Apple. Like, give us the text chain, the Christmas text chain, and the text chain of this.
Of Janelle questioning where all the money is going.
Yes.
Yeah, we can litigate all of this. We'll get to the bottom of this and we'll tell you exactly what happened and what went wrong.
I'm telling you, we need a forensic accountant in here to go through all of it.
Oh, God, yeah. This Janelle thing, what we learned, what was it, last week or a couple of weeks ago, about how she didn't have any control over the money. That she was just paying the bill. She was just writing the checks or whatever that is. Do we really think that's real? She had no influence at all. And then it makes me look at Janelle a little bit differently of, well, then what have you been doing this whole time?
I will never look sideways at my queen.
But I will say, just really believed for so long.
I think she trusted him.
Yeah,
I think she trusted him.
She was so bought into the whole thing, and she's like, he'll do right by me.
Yeah,
he'll do right by me. I don't think she ever cared about legal marriages, other than it just fucked up her taxes. Because when she was divorcing Meri to go with Robyn, she's just like, oh, you couldn't have waited after the tax year.
Let's do Q1 for this marriage.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. She doesn't give a shit.
Yeah,
she really believed in him and believed in the family. And she was not unhappy in her marriage.
And I think part of that was he was a good father to her children.
To her boys.
Yes.
To her boys.
Yes.
Yeah. And she doesn't need much. She doesn't. She's very independent. She's very happy to live her own life.
Yeah.
He'd show up every fourth night. He'd bang her occasionally. He hung out with her kids. Great. We're good. I don't need much more.
I don't need to think of Cody banging anyone.
No. I'm telling you, though, I am telling you, on the order, she was number 2 of his favorite wives and favorite sexual partners.
Oh, yes. Yes. Because the way in which he is so lamenting that she does not want to stay in this marriage with him.
It's breaking his heart.
You've just said you don't love any of these, you're fine with all these women. And yet God damn it with him.
I'm going to disagree.
I think they did some freaky deaky stuff. I think
too.
she let him do things that the other wives didn't let him do. And I also think that I think they had good conversations.
Yeah. I'm going to disagree.
I really do. I think you disagree. Okay.
I disagree. I think the reason he is so lamenting her decision to leave is because she's the easiest. She's the least needy. He could just kind of have her there and he doesn't have to do anything and she doesn't have expectations and all the kids are gone. So like, that's not a thing. I think Christine was needy and I think Meri was needy. That's
and
my
Robyn's
thought.
needy, but he loves her. So it's fine.
Right. And he doesn't see it as needy for Robyn because Robyn couches it in this worship of him, which is gross.
Which
Cody,
is,
I need you to take the lid off the olives because you're so strong and I'm not. You've had all your whey protein this week and I haven't.
All of his supplements on the counters.
All right. This was lovely. Tess, thanks for having us.
But did you want to talk about JonBenét or no?
Okay. Here's the thing.
What's your comment? Our show is now longer than Sister Wives, but okay.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
So 2 things I want to tell everybody. Turn this off if you don't want it spoiled for the docuseries that's on Netflix. Yes. Listen to Tess and Brooke's coverage and listen to Amanda and I talk about it as well this week. Okay. So I was always team Patsy did it. I am now team intruder.
Entirely?
Okay.
Yeah.
No doubt.
There's one thing that I can't. No, there's one thing I can't get past. And it is the pineapple. I really
the pineapple in our system.
Yes, I really need to kind of explain that pineapple away. But the way I think I explain it is I think John Mark Carr did it. I think he is creepy as fuck. I think he's one of these people that over explains everything. So I could see him writing a 3-page letter, especially if he has 5 hours to do it. And I think he may have given her the pineapple as he was, talking to her. And because he describes, I mean, guys, episode 3 of that is so hard to watch. Amanda, did you watch it yet?
I did. I'm going to need to rewatch it for tomorrow for our recording.
Episode 3 is so hard to watch because he goes into great detail about what he did to her. Supposedly. I don't feel like you can make that up. Like, he really leaned into this. And I could see a world in which he gives her a little snack while he's talking to her at the table. You know what I mean? To kind of, or he has the snack himself. I don't know. And then gives her a piece. I have no idea. But the pineapple's
what
the
about
thing.
then? But his DNA doesn't match.
Right. But I think the DNA is corrupted.
Which is what, and that's what we were talking about. Like they need to why is Boulder dragging their heels? With this entire situation with not retesting the DNA. And we both believe, I've never thought the parents did it. I really never thought the parents, I really didn't. And I've always felt like it was a third party or something, but I'm so shocked by the 2016 CBS documentary now because it never talked about the unknown male DNA. Like there were so many holes in that. And then for them to accuse a kid, like,
I know.
God, you guys. I mean, I really thought that
they had a child. They brought a kid in to bash a dummy in the head with a flashlight to show that Burke could have done this.
Yes. Okay. But we do think that whoever did this had been going into their house a lot. Like, I think this was an intruder that was part of their kink or part of their thing was to go into somebody's house and this is part of it. And maybe discovered, there's a little girl that lives here. It's I'm going to keep coming back.
And they're live in people's houses.
And they're also like, no one could have known that layout of the house. I mean, it's a house. How hard can it be? I know on this floor, there needs to be stairs that descend for me to get to the other floor. Give me 10 minutes to find them. You know what I mean?
But if the whole family's out for 4 or 5 hours,
you could
find everything.
Yes.
You could get the lay of land, which is also why
the house you're in the Chicago airport trying to figure it out. It's a 6,000 square foot house.
That's why I think there was a lot of groundwork that was done, like the 118,000 and all these things. I feel like this person had been looking and, doing all this stuff and figuring stuff out. And how do I move here and doing this and this and this? And I think that whatever that person was planning on doing, I think it went, I don't know, maybe it went the way he thought, maybe it didn't. I don't know. But there's something really off about it. And I just felt like that Steve Thomas who wrote that book, I just like, why isn't this guy locked up? Like, this is such defamatory.
All these strong like statements that came out, like the 2016 CBS special, Steve Thomas, they've all been sued. Yes. And they've all settled.
And won.
Yeah. Like the Ramseys have won those cases. So like, but I also feel like when you listen to the podcast that I recommended, Amanda, which I forget what it was called.
Something family.
I, of course, have it on my phone. Hold on immediately. Or maybe I don't.
Is this a podcast just on JonBenét? Or are they just covering this episode?
And it's just this guy who goes through and like each half hour is dedicated to like, here's the Patsy theory.
A normal family.
A normal family.
Here's
the John theory here. And he talked about things that were not represented in this documentary. Like there was a connection between the Ramseys and Alex Hunter, the DA. And like, so stuff like that makes you question, but I still feel like all of that can be explained away. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, I feel like I can't imagine that these parents would kill their child. Okay, even if they do. I mean, that happens. But then to sexually assault her with a paintbrush.
Yeah. And that's the part was like, Patsy?
That's the part where I'm like, I
really
just
Patsy
can't get past that. That is like pedophile, sexual, deviant behavior. That is not my kid peed the bed and I got pissed off behavior.
No, but the fact, I don't know, I have a real bias against child pageants like that and the sexualization of small
and that's what they say. Like they probably attracted people to her or through those pageants.
Oh yeah. Or I don't know. There's something about Patsy Ramsey that has never sat well with me.
I'm not saying Patsy Ramsey is like mother of the year.
No, there's something about her that's always creeped me out.
I can't imagine. First of all, women are very seldom sexual predators. And then to make it a mother on top of it is even a smaller percent.
And a mother that just recovered from ovarian cancer, thought she was going to die. It's the holidays. It's the night before your kid pees the bed. Really? Really? That is not, even if you have the kookiest mother in the world, most likely if she would get mad, she would spank her and say, sleep in the bed. That would have been like the shitty parent thing to do.
If it happened in the house, I've always been under the impression that it was an accident. It was I hit her and she hit the tub, or you know what I mean? Like something or whatever.
Or I threw her off, like I pushed her away and she fell down the stairs. Something.
But it's the sexual assault with the paintbrush handle that I just can't. Ugh. So anyway, Amanda and I will hash this out.
Okay. Looking forward to it this week. Actually, what I think will happen is I think Amy will just yell at me for like an hour about what she thinks is true. And I'll be like, okay, that sounds good. I don't know.
My mother and I have been texting back and forth all morning.
Amy, so you have, because I only have one boy. So you have two girls.
I do.
So, because Brooke was talking about this too, which it hit me. I realized my niece is gorgeous, and has always been stunning. Like maybe Layla had a rough weekend where she transitioned, but that girl has been gorgeous. Like she's been on the cover. Every school that she ever went to, she was like on the cover of their magazine. I swear to God, she is gorgeous. So Brooke started talking about this, and she started talking about like Layla when she was young liked to wear sexy things and like to be pretty, like wear makeup and put on the hair and makeup and do all the fun stuff that she liked to do, all that kind of stuff too. And that there's almost this thing of, yes, it's the beauty pageants, but it's almost our society sexualizing young girls because my niece has been looked at by older men. And I was too when I was 10, 11, like a really gross age. But she had been looked at by men constantly hitting on her at 12, at 13, at 14.
I was walking out of a restaurant with my daughter and a guy stopped and looked her up and down right in front of me. And I turned around and said, she's fucking 14.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Yeah. It's bad.
So if the beauty pageants, I'm with you. The beauty pageants aren't great, but I feel like the media really glommed onto that and then villainized this family. And it's a little bit like, okay, it's not what you would choose, but it's almost like you sexualized your child. You did this. It's like, no, all girl, lots of girls like to do those things. This is the world we
live in, unfortunately.
And the world sexualized them. The world did that, right? And so That's just my 2 cents on it. Like, it's when you have a boy, it's very different. Like, you're not worried about those kinds of things.
Right. Yeah.
The way you are. But yeah, if you don't, and men don't get it. Men have no idea all the crapola that we deal with.
No idea.
So we'll be hashing this out.
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I look forward to it.
All right, guys. This was fun.
Yes.
This was great.
Yes,
Thank you for being here, Tess.
Yeah. Absolutely. Next time we got to get Brooke.
Yes, absolutely. We need a lawyer.
Yes.
In the mix. We have a project manager, we have a therapist, we have a poet. We need a lawyer.
And a cat. We need a lawyer.
And a cat.
And a cat. A very, very, very needy cat.
A very needy cat.
All right, guys. Thank you very much.
Take care, everyone.
Bye. All right. Whew, we talked about a lot. So thank you so much for tuning in. First, if you are not familiar with Little Miss Recap, please go check out them. This is Amye and Amanda from Little Miss Recap, and go check out the show. Amye has a Patreon for Little Miss Recap. She has a Facebook group. She's got merch. She's got it all. So go check out. She talks a lot about 90 Day Fiancé and Love After Lockup, a lot of shows on the TLC network that Brooke and I don't cover. So you want to go over there and check out Little Miss Recap. And if you like us, please subscribe to the show or leave us a 5-star rating and review. Check us out on social media at Psych Legal Pop on Instagram and TikTok. And finally, hey, a great gift for the holiday season. You can do this now with Patreon, is you can gift someone a membership. So if you like us, or if you know somebody who likes us and you're thinking about a gift idea, please go check us out on Patreon. Patreon.com/Psych Legal Pop Podcast. We have a couple tiers. We do exclusive episodes. It won't air here. We have a lot of stuff just for our Patreon members over there. So go check it out. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. I hope everyone had a wonderful, hopefully relaxing holiday week.